Hi, I'm Gilbert.
And I'm Madison, and we own Dragon's Breath Aromatics, an all-natural bug repellent company, and we're going backpacking soon.
So join us and we'll show you the different products that we make for keeping away insects during your backpacking trips.
And what we normally bring other than bug repellent, because you have to sleep. You can't sleep
Yes.
in a bottle of bug repellent.
Yep.
You need a tent. So we'll have all that stuff too.
So Madison's going to take a moment to show you what she takes with her, and then we'll switch sides and I'll show you what I take with me. All right, Madison, so what do you normally take with you on your hiking trip?
So normally I take a tent with me. So this is a 2-person tent, and it's a hiking pole tent, so it doesn't have all of the little rods and annoying stuff. And it has a fly and all that, and the little sheet thing that goes on top of it, so you don't get all wet.
The fly.
And it's important, yeah. Well, and it's important to make sure they're not touching, because then your condensation will make you wet anyway.
Correct.
And this is the heaviest thing I have, I'm pretty sure, and it's only like a pound and a half.
It's pretty light tent. It's a couple pounds maybe.
So make sure that nothing you have is too heavy, because it will add up and you will regret everything. Then I have my little seat, because I know you like those pop-up chairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, because they're heavy and it's a lot of stuff to carry. But this is awesome because there's always a rock, there's always a log, and then you just set this on it to keep your butt from getting wet. There's no back support though. Sometimes that sucks, but you're out in the woods, in the wilderness. You'll be fine. And I have to remind myself that. I'm like, you'll be fine. I bring a regular water bottle, and of course this would be full. It's empty right now. And that will go in one of my side pockets so I can easily grab it or ask someone to grab it for me. I don't have like an ultralight, one of the squishable ones. You don't need it. You don't need the most expensive thing. Just remember that. Everything should be accessible.
But you do have to filter your water.
You do have to filter your water.
Yes.
I'll filter it beforehand. I also am being a hypocrite because I'm like, you don't need everything, all the expensive stuff, and then Dad has the expensive stuff, so I get to use it anyway. I have my potty stuff, regular toilet paper, and a poop shovel. You'll need a poop shovel.
Very important.
Very important poop. Very important. That's all, pretty much all you need. And then toilet paper is biodegradable, so it's okay. You can just bury it and it'll go away. That's how paper works. I've got a few little things, right? I have a towel, one of these wicking towels that absorbs a lot, and they dry pretty quickly. And these will save your life, because especially where we hike in Dolly Sods in the mountains of West Virginia, the Appalachians, if you will, it rains all the time. It's very wet most of the time. If it's super dry and you go a whole weekend without rain, you're lucky. So everything's always very wet, and that gets old pretty quickly. So I hate being wet. So having a little towel is awesome, because you can wipe your feet before you get in your tent. You can wipe your face if you're sweating. You can wash your hands and dry your hands, because that's an integral part of washing your hands, is getting them dry. Because wet hands are the worst. I have a few little things that I put in my front pockets, like my pocket knife, in case you need to cut something. I've had this since I was like 15, and I've never sharpened it, but somehow it still works. Hand sanitizer, because while you can't always wash your hands, you don't want to get icky germs. Not that it matters anyway. You won't be showering. You won't be bathing at all, unless you have no shame, which, power to you. Sunscreen. Especially if you're up in the mountains, you're closer to the sun. Something about that makes you sunburn more easily. I don't know if that's a...
Well, it is also Dolly Sods. There's a lot of open clearing areas up on top, and you can get burnt pretty easily.
So don't do that.
Exactly.
And this is how I not do that.
Exactly.
So also don't do that. These are awesome for nighttime potty trips. You won't need this for really anything else, but a headlamp is awesome, and especially if it has, which I'm not sure if this one does, but especially if it has a red light feature. This one does not, so everyone's going to be blind. If it has a red light feature, that's better, because that's not annoying for everyone in your campsite if you like flash across their tents. The red light is not going to wake them up, but a big white light will. And then another thing I hang from the outside of my backpack is soap. So we make a campsite soap at Dragon's Breath, and it's just an unscented bar of soap. It's basically Castile soap, and you can wash anything with it. You can wash your hands, your dishes, yourself, your dog, whatever. And then we have soap pouches as well, which are exclusively available at Keeping It Local in Morganza in Southern Maryland. Eventually they will be on the website, they just take a while to make. And so you tie that in there, and now you've got a sponge, a self-drying sponge, so you can hang on the back of your backpack so it doesn't get all your stuff wet. And then you can clean anything. You can clean yourself, you can clean your water bottle. And if your soap gets small enough, you can clean the inside of your water bottle. So that's real nifty. And then I also have bug spray, which is super duper duper important because we're going through lots of woods and lots of brush because there's ticks and chiggers and all kinds of stuff. One of our product testers actually went hiking one time without this because he always wears it. One time without it and he got chiggers. So take that as a warning. Don't go without your bug spray. Even if you don't use ours, go with bug spray. And this is available on our website, which will be linked in the description, which I don't know how to do, but Dad, I hope you know how to do.
We'll get it.
And then I always bring a lip balm with me. We also make these, and I usually have this in like a side pocket or something. But I'll show you where I put everything for weight distribution, because that's important. If you put all the heavy stuff at the top, you're going to hate yourself. Put all the heavy stuff at the bottom where your weight is where it holds on to you. These are nifty. These are just fairy lights. And you can put them inside your tent or inside your hammock depending on what you like to do. If you're like getting ready for bed or you want to read a book or something, it's a lightweight, not super annoying way to have a little bit of light. The batteries are dead. That's good to know before we actually go.
That is.
And I think, Dad, you told me to do that. This was your suggestion, and I believe these do belong to you. I don't think I asked for them. I think I just took them.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of them, so you pretty much just inherited it.
So you can line them in your tent or whatever, and you don't have to bring one of those big lanterns. I know a lot of people have a lantern that they like to hang in the top of their tent, but this is just our way of doing things, and I think it's fun. So now we're to the food section. This is very, very, very important. Of course, all this little stuff is important, but the food is super duper important. So I have my system to make food. My friend got me this from like TJ Maxx. So
it is the well-known Stanley thermos cooker. A lot of backpackers and all use it, and you buy a larger cup. I think that's what does it say on the side of the cup? I guess it's GSI. Mm-hmm. Yeah, GSI cup. It snugs in there perfectly. And then you can open the top.
I have it all in there. You'll be so proud. Oops. It's okay. This is the part that you actually cook in. And then I have my propane tank in here because they fit super perfectly.
Yep.
So if you want to cook with propane or over the fire, it doesn't matter.
Do you have your little stove too?
I don't have that. I don't think you gave that to me. I was going to ask for it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, a lot of times, especially the smaller stoves, you can actually fit right in here on top of that propane heater.
Yeah, do you have yours?
So
you'll be able to show that.
Yep.
I just have the propane tank. And but it all packs very snugly into itself. So this is where you actually cook your food. And having this towel actually helps a lot. Or if you have like a sock, because this gets super hot. So if you actually have it over the fire or over something, you can't just grab it. And I do want to say that because I have done that. And if you get one of these, you might not think about it because you're like, oh, it's a handle, it's fine. But it's like a cast iron pot where you'll just burn your hand. And that's no fun. So that packs nicely into itself. And it's not too heavy either. And then, of course, I have this little mesh bag that it goes into so that everything stays together. and you can't eat without a utensil. We exclusively use the long sporks, which every backpacker knows about. Every backpacker has a long spork. I think we could get away with a long spoon because no hiker food really needs the fork part. Not that I've had. That's my hill to die on. But you can get a long spork pretty much anywhere. You can get one online at Ubu Foods. We'll link a few food-related small businesses because I'm going to talk about that right now. This is where I keep my food. This is not a bear-proof bag. I don't believe that exists. I truly don't.
It doesn't.
It's just waterproof. I just have a dry bag that I put my food in.
But it does have a ring on the side, and we can hoist it up onto a tree like you're supposed to do.
It is hangable.
Yes.
So you can hang it, and it has the one that you're actually supposed to hang it from, but I never do that. And it has a bear whistle, in case the bear tries to eat your food, so you can whistle and make it go away.
In theory, yeah.
I don't know why I would be holding this bag while a bear is trying to eat me, but my pack also has a bear whistle, I think. Yeah. So, the best thing to eat on a backpacking trip is a package of dehydrated food. So this one I already had. You can tell it's all beaten up. But they never go bad. It's apocalypse food. You could, in 200 years, I could eat this. So that's one of the options. You can also just bring ramen. Ramen is super lightweight. All you need is water. It has all the seasoning and everything. And everybody likes ramen. And I've done that more than once. In the realm of dehydrated food, we also have hiker's hummus from Ubu Foods. And that's a good snack to have if you want to like sit down on the trail and make a little something, or to have like with your meal as well. And we know a few small businesses that make this kind of stuff, like these kinds of dehydrated meals. And we'll link them and share them. I have ordered from them, but from one of them, but my order wasn't going to get here yet, but it will be here before the actual trip. So, we try to get as much air out as possible so that it doesn't take up a ton of space. But I would recommend our other, pardon me, our colleagues who make dehydrated food, because they make some good stuff. And you always want to support a small business rather than a big company, just because the big company doesn't care about you. Small businesses do. I care about you. Anyway, moving on to my clothes. You're gonna stink, you're gonna be dirty, you're gonna be sweaty. That's just it. So you don't need to pack a change of clothes for every day. You don't. I'm gonna wear this with my sandals. That's not for free, you gotta blur my feet. And then I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna put on leggings. I bring one pair of pants to sleep in. That can be shorts, leggings, whatever you want. I'm not sure if it's gonna be cold or not. These are actually long johns. So if it's cold, I'll be fine. But if it's hot, I will be very sweaty. And then you just put these back on in the morning. I can't emphasize enough how you are going to stink anyway. You bring deodorant, or don't. Some people don't. I do. But you will stink anyway. And then I bring 2 pairs of socks because I hike in sandals. I can't stand hiking in anything else. I've tried hiking in my little hiking shoes, and I will wear them sometimes on like short hikes and stuff. But long hikes, my feet get too hot, and they feel very wet and gross. So I hike in sandals. Yes, I do get blisters because you're not supposed to actually go in water with sandals because then your straps get wet and then they rub your feet and then you get blisters. I do every time. I know better, and I do it every time. So I bring a pair of socks for the second day in case my blisters are so bad that I need to be carried out. I'll put a pair of socks on, and then I also have a pair of warm socks overnight in case it gets really cold, because if you're in the mountains, there's a chance that it's going to be really cold. If you're in a nylon tent, though, it's probably going to be kind of sweaty. They're always a little bit hot. Even if you are cold, you will sweat. I love nylon tents. And then an extra t-shirt for the next day. And of course, underwear. But that's not for free. You should be able to use your imagination. You know you need underwear every day. And then here's my sleep system. So I have a an inflatable little it's like a mattress instead of a sleeping bag, because you need one of these anyway when you're sleeping on the ground. Because I prefer a tent. I know a lot of people prefer a hammock, or hammocks are really big right now, but I prefer a tent because I am a stomach sleeper. So I really like this. I take that back. I like this, but I don't like inflatable stuff because it always deflates. And this does to a degree. But again, you're sleeping in the woods. You'll live. You know?
And climate does make a good pad. Theirs are pretty good. They distribute the air, as you can see on the pattern, kind of differently, so it's not just a big pillow under you that will kind of squish in certain areas where you'll lose your hip area or your arms or shoulders. So they're pretty good pads. I've used them in multiple different occasions.
They do kind of deflate though. No offense to Climate. Not sponsored. Probably never sponsored now that I said that. But it's pretty lightweight, and it's I would say it's better than a sleeping bag. I don't know. I bought this because I was going backpacking with my husband, so it was easier to just have the sleeping pad and the sleeping comforter, the little sleepy blanket, than to have two sleeping bags. But now, since I'm going by myself this weekend, I'm just going to use this because this is what I have, and I'll report back if I think it's good for a single sleeping, because it was fine for double sleeping. And then I have my pillow. And I can't stand inflatable pillows. I've tried. I can't do it. So this is a real pillow, and it's a my pillow. And that's a company. I'm not just saying it belongs to me. And it folds up, or it rolls up, and then it rolls out. And it's a sizable little pillow, and it's very, very lightweight. And this makes it worth it. Because out of all the stuff, I love backpacking. Hiking is awesome. Sleeping outside sometimes can be annoying, and I'm like, I just want to get up and keep backpacking. I just want to keep walking. I just want to keep going. So having a good sleep system is important for me, because that's the part that I like the least.
You'll probably have to grab the plaque. Yeah.
There, because it won't stay folded. So we had to put a strap on it. I didn't mean that. I like sleeping outside. I just want to get up and keep going. Okay. Now we have to pack the backpack. So my backpack is an Osprey 50-liter Aura. So it's a women's backpack. Because believe it or not, there is a difference. I would be one to say, oh, what's the difference? I have hiked in a men's backpack. It doesn't fit right. So get the backpack that fits your body best, and they're all adjustable. This one's super adjustable. Like the straps go up and down. The whole back kind of goes up and down. The hip straps are super adjustable. I have them all the way. Well, I probably could have gotten a smaller size. And everything, you can make everything as comfortable as possible, and that's what you should do, because you're going to be married to this thing for hours and miles, and it will either be your greatest ally or your greatest enemy. So this one has a water bladder, so I'm actually borrowing this from my dad. So this, fill it up and put it in before you put anything else in, otherwise you won't be able to get it in, and it'll be a whole nightmare. You'll have to take everything out again, and you don't want to deal with that. So just fill it up, put it in beforehand. They all come with this nifty little bag. They go in this little back bag that's up against your back, and there's a little clip that holds it in. And then there should be a hole through the back that goes to the front where it's touching you, and then over your thing. And I dropped my poop shovel. Oh well. And then over to your strap so that you can just grab it. And
now this nozzle is a bite nozzle, which I highly recommend, so it's not dripping and draining on you. It also has a little lever on it to shut it off. And this hose in this pack system, the Osprey water system, has a clip here. So you don't have to always take the hose out and redo it every time. You can just pull the bladder out, fill it up, and put it back in.
And that doesn't mean you shouldn't bring a regular water bottle, because this is good for if you need to transport water or wash something. You don't have to like hold this, because this is hard to kind of, you're supposed to chew on it and suck on it instead of like pressing it with your hands. It doesn't always come out really well. This is good for washing your hands, washing your dishes, splashing your friend. So having two forms of water reservoirs is good.
Yeah.
So in the main body of the bag, I'll put my sleep system, and I know I had a blue one. We just traded because this is a single, and Mom and Dad are gonna take my double. So this is a lot lighter, and I'm gonna use this one instead because it's just me by my lonesome. So I put that first because it's not super heavy, but it's not super light either. We're going heaviest to lightest. So these, my little Stanley cups and my little propane tank are also a little hefty, like half a pound. Like literally not heavy, but heavier than my pillow. So we're trying to distribute the weight down here so that it's heavier down here and lighter up here, so it's not pulling me back, so that I'm holding the weight on my hips where I'm supposed to, where the strap goes around my hip bones. And I have had a pack so heavy one time that my hips bruised, so don't do that either. And then this is my food. I put my food, these are my meals though, just my meals that I don't need to access throughout the day. And my forks, my sporks, pardon me, sporks. And then I will put in my clothes. I dropped my t-shirt. No. Because I won't need those until we're at the camp and getting ready for bed. So my shirt, my leggings, and my socks. And I'll go down in my backpack. And then my comforter. This is really, really light, so it can go towards the top. And then my pillow. And of course, I don't have all the stuff I'm going to bring. I don't have like my deodorant, my toothpaste, all that kind of stuff. Obviously.
Where would you store that if you did?
Where would I? Great question. I will put that in my brain. So we're going to do the brain next. My brain, it's just the top flap of the backpack that clips down to close up the backpack. I might as well just close this up. So you can clip this. I usually don't. And then, see, this one can go without a brain. You can take this whole portion off, and then it can still clip shut, and then it's just a regular backpack for like day hiking and stuff. But I always use the brain. I don't always use my brain, but I always use this brain. So then the brain, since it can come off, mine, it takes a second to come off, but trust me, it comes off.
Yeah, it's strapped on so you can unstrap it.
Yeah, mine doesn't buckle though. You have to like take the straps off.
Right.
So you can take that off and have it with you in your tent or in your hammock or whatever, so you don't have to have the whole backpack. But that's where I'm going to put my toothbrush, toothpaste. I wear contacts, so my contact lens case. So when I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll be blind. And my little fairy lights. Stuff that I want to have with me when I'm sleeping or just in my tent close to me. So I'll put my lip balm's going to go in my front pocket. My sunscreen, because I'll reapply that kind of on the daily. My towel, because I know you like to hang yours on your backpack, but I don't. My little headlamp for nighttime that can go in my brain, and then of course my normal stuff would go in there. I'm probably not gonna bring my glasses, but normally I put my glasses in there too. And then this backpack has two big side pouches, so they're big elastic side pouches, and it also has like these strappies and such. there's a lot of places to put things. So I'll pick one of these and put my water bottle in there. Because I don't really need to access it on the hike because I have this. But in case I do need to access it, it's on the outside of my backpack. And then now it's super secure. And then I pick my other side pouch as my potty pouch. This is where all of my bathroom stuff goes, which is just this. Just the toilet paper and poop scoop. And we shove that. Normally you pick a roll of toilet paper that's a little bit used up so that you don't have a full one, but I have a full one. Just cause I'm dumb. That's embarrassing. And then the bug spray also needs to go somewhere where we could just grab it. I usually I'll put it in my brain because someone can just unzip it and grab it for you. Or I'll put it in a side pocket, or I'll put it in one of these. It depends on where I have space. It depends on where I want to direct someone to. It's in my brain, it's in my such and such, you know, when you have to do that. So right now I'm going to put it in my brain. That might change over the course of the trip depending on what happened. I'll put my pocket knife in one of my little side pouches. Put my hand sanitizer. I hang on my strap so I can use it whenever I need to. It's right there. You just go choop choop. And then I have my soap, which I'm going to hang off the back of the backpack. And of course I don't need to do this yet because it's not wet yet, so I will probably put it in my brain or one of the pouches. But once it's wet and I've used it, I can just tie it on here and it'll swing around and dry off, and then I don't have to worry about it getting all my stuff wet. So, but for now, while it's dry, it's going to go in my brain. And then I have my little butt pad. Let's see where I can put that, because I'm going to put my tent here on the bottom. These two straps that I have down here. And I'm just going to strap it by this. Or is that stupid?
I would,
You do the whole thing?
I'd go around it, but then still keep the strap through that. Just as a secure thing.
They weren't ready. Okay.
Yep. Now the reason she's doing this is so that when we're hiking, things shift and move around. And if she just put it around that, and let's say she was the last person in the group, that could slip out while you're hiking and you wouldn't know, and you'd get to camp without a tent, and that would be very bad.
It would be very bad.
So if there's a way with the tent bag to go around straps, definitely do that.
There we go.
There.
And then this, I have this big front pouch. I usually use this for dirty laundry, dirty stuff, gross stuff that I don't want in my backpack. So I don't have any gross stuff yet. So I can put this in here, or I can strap it to, when I strap my
Rain
backpack
down.
shut,
Yeah.
I can strap it here and here. I won't leave this actually on the hike. I'll need it when we're done.
A lot of times you can also take this thing and stick it way up under the brain on top of the pack and then strap it down. That way it doesn't have an opportunity to slide out. So when you
Or
get
I
all
could
this
put it in
closed. Yeah.
That one doesn't really matter. It has a different home every time.
Yeah. Because you typically will pull that out while you're hiking to sit down for a minute.
'Cause I have strapped it on these side straps before.
Yeah.
That's also an option.
True.
I might do that. That's very Samwise Gamgee. The more I can look like a hobbit, the better. I got all my buckles on. And then I'm ready to go.
There we go.
Ta-da! Oh, and I want to mention my pants. If you can get zip-off cargo pants, I know it's nerdy, but do it because I can wear. It doesn't matter what temperature it is. If it's a little chilly, I can have all of my sections on. If it's a little bit warmer, I can have my hobbit pants on. That's how I call it when I take these bottom ones off, because they're like capris, and that's all the hobbits wore in Lord of the Rings. Or I can have shorts on. And these ones are cool. I forget. We'll find where they're from and we'll link them. But these ones are awesome and they're women's only. Sorry guys, you get to stick with the cargo short ones that come to here and look stupid. So, I like these ones a lot. They're a bit wanting for pockets, but they have 2 front pockets and like a little zipper pocket here for teeny tiny stuff. I've never had stuff that tiny, but evidently lots of people do. And it's got like one back pocket, one zipper back pocket. But if you sit down,
Oh, that's cool.
it's not. If you sit down,
Oh,
you
I
can
got
feel
you.
whatever's in here.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's a bit wanting for pockets, but there's one side one. But the backpack is not. So if you have a backpack, you're fine with pockets. But these are very versatile. So of course, when I wake up in the morning and I put them back on, I can have them as long pants, and as the day gets hotter, I can zip them off. And to anyone who likes zip-off cargo pants knows that already. But a lot of people don't like them, and I want to bring you in. I think they're great. A lot of people think they're stupid. So once I'm actually ready to go, oh, my lip balm. That'll go in my side pouch. I will put snacks and stuff in these little side pouches. Let me put it on.
All right, so a good way to make sure that your backpack is fitting you properly is if you bend completely over, let the packs rest on your back and your hip area, and then attach your belt. Go ahead and cinch that so it's nice and firm so that it's all around your waist, like a nice snug belt. Then when you stand up, you should feel all that weight on your hips, and you should be able to buckle the front and not have the weight on your shoulders. This is a very adjustable backpack, as you can see. She's got this up here where you can reach in here, and there it's not really sitting on her shoulder, it's really just preventing it from falling backwards. The Osprey also has a really good ventilation system. You can see her pack is not actually against her back. The netting is, so it can breathe in here and you don't get all hot and sweaty while you're hiking along your back and your shirt. So that's the best way I've found to kind of size up and set up the backpack for long hikes and backpacks trips.
You can see I could have used a bigger size or a smaller size, I think.
Well, the straps are usually pretty big, which, yeah, you can always tie them up or whatever. There you go.
Perfect.
Cool.
We're ready to go.
Ready to go. All right, so as Madison showed what she takes on her backpacking trips, thought I would open my pack and show you what I usually take. So this is my Osprey backpack. It's a 65 liter. Also has the brain on the top, so I can add more stuff to it. A lot of times in the top I'll put snacks in this area. I also will put snacks in the side pockets. It has side pockets on both sides. Really love their stuff. I like their equipment a lot. I actually have a 50 liter as well. My daughter has a pack. My wife has a pack. They're really good. They keep the backpack off of your back and really do a good job of supporting. So this one, the brain is detachable. I do a hammock camping, so sometimes I will take the brain off because I'll keep my glasses, my med pack, which I have down here with my contact lens stuff, or anything like that that I need in the brain, or car keys or any of that kind of thing. So I will next share with you my backpacking sleeping system. I use War Bonnet's hammock system. It allows you to lay flat versus a lot of people think you're in a hammock, you're kind of shaped as a banana, but this allows you to lay flat. You'll see it in our upcoming backpacking video. My nephew Joel, who's going with us, also has one. It pulls out on the sides, gives you a shelf up near your head where you can put your supplies, and like I was saying, I put the brain a lot of times in the pack. I also take a climate pad that I can slide in between the materials on the tent. So this, I'm sorry, the hammock. So here's the hammock. Here is the fly that goes over it. I take a quilt sometimes. In the wintertime, I'll take a bigger one. This is the one I'll take on off seasons where I'm not too sure. Now, if it's going to be super warm, I won't take that. I do always take the Sea to Summit's reactor bag. I highly recommend this. If it's warm, you know, you can just use as a blanket. If it gets really cold, you can sleep in this and then under your quilt. I don't use a sleeping bag in the hammock. I use the under quilt or the under pad or a quilt. And then I also have, for winter camping, I have a quilt that goes underneath the hammock. Then I will also use this, another Sea to Summit product. Don't really, I'm not sponsored. I don't, only buy Sea to Summit. Just they have some good products. This is a inflatable pillow, which I really like. I carry this bag. As you can see, it's a Frog Togs bag. I have a rain jacket that I used to take with me, but I found that their bags are great for taking things like for your hammock as you set it up and you have to put your fly out. I have bags of stakes in here. I also use this Zingit string. I was using paracord. This is much, much lighter and durable. So if you're thinking about using paracord for tying lines, I would look for this. You can get it at any hardware store. All right, for when you're in the field, obviously we're Dragon's Breath Aromatics, and this is the bug spray I take. You'll probably see more of it on there. I'll put a link in our in the video. We have the Backpacker's Bug Balm. This is the tried and true original. There's also other formulas, also stuff for sensitive skin. I also carry a little concentrate of it that I'll put on my little bracelet. It has a aromatic leather pad. You just drip a few drops on there. I actually also will take this and put it on. I hike mostly in sandals, and I'll put this on the leather and stuff on my sandals and let it soak in. It really works well. We've been making it for many years. It was really based on not wanting to use chemical sprays, and we just started making it ourselves. We also have a camp soap. This is what it comes in the package. We also have these little cozies that you can put them in. It's great because you get it all wet, lather it up, and you use it on yourself. The great thing about soap is you can also use it for dishes. I carry a little pad that I've cut down for cleaning up my cooking area. As I mentioned, I have a little, it's like a med kit, or not med kit, a bathroom kit for taking your glasses, toothbrush, toothpaste. I do use deodorant in the field. Some people just are like, no, I don't care. I try and bathe a little and throw some on. If I can't bathe, I'll just put some on anyways. I mean, you're with other people, you start to really get rough, so I do carry deodorant and use it. As far as first aid or safety, we carry a Zoleo. Garmin makes one. Shoot, there's another company out there that makes one too. Enreach. They're great. Definitely recommend it. Get a plan that you can usually turn these on and off when you're not using them, and have them on, so if you're in a place where you can't get cell service, you can text loved ones that you're there safe, or that you're leaving, or there's an SOS pad or button on it. This one has a special door to keep it safe. You push that and it sends a signal out to their system, and then they get you help. We also started carrying, I used to carry a real small first aid kit, but I just got one of these recently. I got one for when we go overlanding as well, a bigger one, but this one is nice and compact. It's probably bigger than other than other people take, and it's definitely bigger than what I used to take. But when I'm going on trips with more people, I'll take something like this. If it's just me and like my nephew or just one other person, I have a much smaller bag that I'll take stuff from and put in there. As far as preparation, water, I have to drink a lot of water. I have a water bladder in here. It's a 3 liter, has the hose that comes off the side somewhere. There it is right there. It's also a Osprey bladder. I mean, you can get any bladder to stick in these things. Mine goes up to 3 liters. I used to do that. It's a lot of weight. I'm usually doing down to 2 now. But I also carry the Cadian water filter system, which I absolutely love and have used for many years. You can just go up to a creek, you drop this in, you can move the little float in case it's, you know, deep water. All this pops in, you hook it up. There's a valve on the top. You can actually have another one of these lines. I think this is actually the line. Yeah, this one goes straight into the bladder where you disconnect your hose. Hook this in, just pump, fills up the bladder. It's great. You get, you know, fresh, clean spring water, so it's always nice and cool. Absolutely love this thing. Highly recommend them. They used to only come in like a dark sheathing, so you couldn't really tell when the filter was in trouble or you needed to replace it. So now they have this. I got this kind of opaque-ish kind of thing, and I like this more because I can then see if I need to change the filter sooner. Cadian also makes this little guy. Sometimes I usually take him on like day trips, but he's great because I can put him in a backpack all squished up, not use it until if we're going to do some little, you know, short hikes after we've camped. Fills up and it filters directly. So you just literally, this one you scoop out of the creek, put your filter in, turn it, and drink directly out of it. It is the Be Free by Cadian, and I really think this is great because even if you're doing day trips or day hikes, you could just take this with you. Another quick water supply that I bought a while ago, back when it was on one of those Fund Me pages. They were just trying to starting out. It's called the Grail. We jokingly call it the Holy Grail because I have yet to see anything that cleans all the tannins out of the water in dolly sods like this does. All these other things work great, but this thing is phenomenal. Problem is it's kind of bulky. A lot of times we'll hook it to my carabiner on the front with my sandals and just take it along, but of course it adds weight, so it's a sometimes goes with us and sometimes doesn't. All right, so also I have a towel, you know, for drying off after I've taken a bath or cleaned up or just need dry hands. Cooking system. Obviously we have a bear bag. Throw this up in the trees. Rock Sock is the brand, and this thing is really pretty cool. I've gone through a bunch of different types. This thing is pretty awesome. In our food bag, you just which I actually don't have out here. It's just like a nylon bag. You roll it up. You got a clip on it. You put all your food material items in it, and you throw the rock. This thing has a two carabiner system, so it's like a pulley system. So it works better, I've found, than most others. And then for cooking, we have the long spoon. I'm not sure who this is. This is by Sea to Summit as well. This usually clicks on the outside somewhere, not on this side, and I'll go into that later. This is my dirty side. I have a little red thing there, so I know this is the dirty side of the pack. My stove system is just like Madison's. It's the Stanley stove with a big GSI cup, fits perfectly around it. Has the handles so that if it's hot, you're not burning yourself. This stove thing is great. Many people use it. You pull the clip back, and I actually have, and this, the great thing, other good thing is this cap actually fits on this cup perfectly. So it has strainer holes on it, has a little plastic tab. A lot of people have had theirs break. I've been fortunate, I guess, that I haven't had my plastic tab break. And then inside I can carry the stove top and I have a canister of fuel in here, which never really wants to come out easily. There it is. So this is a foot system that you extend the legs on it. You put your canister on there to give you more stability on the rocks and the ground, because it's never really that level. Screw this on, light it up, set this on top. It's got little arms, wings that come out so that the stove can sit on there. I'll show you that real quick. It's always a trick because you got to do one at a time or they'll catch on each other. So there, and then that would sit on top of the canister, and then your stove sits on there and you cook. So it's all compact. It's great. I love it. I know other people carry different things, and everybody's different. Everybody's going to have their own technique and their style that they want to do, and it's really about getting out in the woods, backpacking. I used to tent camp all the time. I've just gotten older and I like the hammock more. You're not directly on the ground. Some people are tent campers, and it really is just what helps you to get out there and what works for you the best. And it takes time. It does take some trial and error. So these are just the things that I use and I take. Doesn't mean it's perfect, doesn't mean it's right, but it just works for me. And as I was saying, on my backpack, I also have 2 sections on the sides. That's one of the reasons I really like the 65. Problem with bigger backpacks is a lot of times you want to put more stuff in them. So you have to kind of limit yourself. On this side, I have the red because I know this is the dirty side. This is where I have the toilet paper, the wipes, the trowel for digging, the potty hole, or the cat hole as it's called. I also have a little collapsible saw in there. This I just got recently. I really like this because it's a nice bow saw. I probably can't get it apart, but yeah, I'm going to struggle with it. There we go. And then there's a blade in here, and it all folds out, so it's like a triangle, and then you can, I've got that backwards obviously, but anyhow, you can, there we go, it goes like that. There's the clip, and so then this handle tightens down to tighten that blade, and then you've got an actual sawing blade, which is nice for cutting up some wood, dead wood. Obviously you don't want to just cut anything that you find out there in the woods, but it's neat. I've done other systems. I like this the most because it's compact and not really heavy. Who's it by? I don't even know who the brand is. It's an off-brand, most likely Amazon. I don't know what brand it is. In the front, I've got, as I was saying, the Frog Tog jacket. I actually started carrying an umbrella, compact umbrella, not too long ago, and I love this. I absolutely love this. A lot of times I don't even bother with the Frog Tog, and sometimes don't even take it. A little compact umbrella is awesome because when the wind's coming sideways and all, you got different directions. So great little tool to have with you. And then on this side, I have things like, now this is kind of, you can consider this dirty stuff, but some cleaners, some tent patch things, and this is like my fire starter kit. I've got a little lighter in here, I've got a rod in here. I do carry a knife that allows me to scrape it, spark it, so I can do that if the lighter's dead, so I don't have to worry about being out there and not have a way to start the fire, even with the stove. So all of this stuff here goes down under here. This is a chair, compact chair, very, very light. Helinox makes them. Highly recommend it. Great for sitting on, at the campsite. It's low. It's a very low seat. Very light though, and this actually gets strapped on the front on the outside. But all of these hammock things go in here. My pillow and my pad, my quilt go in here. Up in the top. My clothes. And as far as clothes go, I typically wear. Columbia makes those zip-off shorts. I love them. You can have the legs not on, or have a lot of companies make them, but they're great because if it gets chilly out, you can put the legs on. I'll also a lot of times take a long sleeve, long john type shirt, something though that can wick a little bit. And then I also will take a wicking shirt. I have one in here. If I can find it. Lightweight. I'll take one of these to wear and one as extra. I don't take a whole lot of clothes. The one pair of pants, an extra t-shirt, change of underwear, at least one pair of socks, sometimes two if it's like spring and all, because you might get wet and muddy. But that's really it. And then what I try to do, what we always try and do, is stop somewhere near a creek or a stream to camp. And that way you can kind of wash your clothes and stuff and then set them out. And, you know, are they perfectly dry the next morning? No, not always, but sometimes, you know, if it's a nice warm day, you know, you'll have them ready before you start hiking again and you can change your clothes. So that's everything that I can think of. Probably a lot there. But like I said, just get out and do it. Get out and hike. You're going to find your sweet spot on your weight. You're going to find your sweet spot on the things that you want to take. And there's a ton of stuff out there. I wouldn't go cheap on your backpack or, you know, your kind of cooking type stuff or your water systems. But there's a lot of other little things out there that you can get off of Amazon that aren't super expensive, that are still good quality. Get on YouTube, look at forums, do that kind of stuff, see what people recommend. But this for me is the way I go, and I hope this was helpful, and we will see you out there on the trail. Hi everyone, so as we promised, Madison and I have gone out on a backpacking trip. We are at Spruce Knob area. We have gone in about just a little over a mile. We're looking to get further in and set up, and we will show you what we talked about as far as our equipment and our bug spray and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, bug spray that we don't need because it's
40
degrees.
Actually cold, as you can tell, because I got a hood on, so we probably don't need the bug spray, but we still wanted to show just kind of our journey. Okay, this is yet another unusual Banana Republic Adventures video. We've got myself, we've got Joel, we've got Marty, and over here we've got Madison. We're actually doing a backpacking trip. So I know again it's a little different, but join us and we'll kind of share what we've done. We've gone into the Seneca Rock Trail area. So we've just found a spot. We've several hour hike in, about 4 miles. Here is the site. There's also a fire pit here. That was probably very fast and got you dizzy, but and then That's where we came from. There's a creek that way. And then you can also hear behind me there's a nice creek. So I'll try and share some of that. But it's late, so we're going to get set up. We're going to eat. So if I don't share anything, we'll try and get back on in the morning. Good morning. It is, I don't even know what date it is, but it is Memorial Day weekend and it's Saturday.
It's the 24th, I think.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I think yesterday was the 23rd, so
All right.
following logic.
That makes the most sense. So it got down to almost freezing last night, so it's pretty cold for end of May. We were really surprised. We all bundled up, stayed warm, and you know, got our tents all set up and all that kind of stuff. So we also wanted to share our Dragon's Breath soap. It's hanging here to dry. Madison used it to do what?
My
Dishes.
My hiker sports.
So it is the camp soap from Dragon's Breath Aromatics, and we also sell these little like scrubby
The scrub pouch.
Pouch,
My mom
yep.
makes them. Unpaid right now. I will pay her.
Yes.
Um,
It's all trial too, because we
All
wanted
trial,
to
yes.
see how well they would do, and they do great.
yeah, so you just wet it, scrub your dishes, and then hang it on your backpack so your stuff doesn't get wet.
Yeah.
And it dried out pretty well last night because it only sprinkled a few times.
Yeah.
It
So,
didn't
yeah.
fully rain.
So, and then here's our campsite. That's where Marty and I slept last night. Here comes Marty now. And there is Madison's tent.
Mine stayed
And
decently warm, I think, because it's so small.
probably, yeah,
How
that
little.
makes sense. Yeah, and it's held up by hiking poles. It's a very light tent. I got it years ago. It's a great tent for backpacking. And then Joel's setup is over there. He's got the war bonnet hammock, which is something I usually do, but with two people, obviously a hammock is not really made for that. So, but this tent we got worked out really well. It actually has a vestibule. You can also put a fireplace in it. But just wanted to share real quick. We are packing up and we're going to head out, and so we'll share things as we go. But yeah, it was a good night. It was just very cold. It's been chilly, so hopefully it will warm up as we get going. All right, we just finished. What time is it?
It's almost 3.
Almost 3. Took a little while to hike out. Came up the upper ridge and then out, and then had to walk a very small road section to get back to the parking lot. So there is Marty, Madison, and Joel. I'm trying to hold this in here.
Whoa.
Hey, look at that earthquake.
All right, cut them off. No more water.
Right, no more water. Yep. So sorry about that. It was a good hike. I mean, did you guys? Yeah, everybody liked the area, right? It was very
It's
pretty.
beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It's beautiful here.
Just need to get back into shape for the backpacking trips
A little
because
chilly last night.
Oh, last night it was
It was
freezing.
a lot chilly.
Yeah.
It's hot today.
Yeah, today is nice and hot. So yes,
We're
but
like, what's it, like 60 degrees?
Yeah.
yeah, feels hot compared to last night. So, but anyhow, thanks for joining us. We will post this and we'll share also on Dragon's Breath Aromatics. We did use some spray on our way out because there was high grasses and all. Didn't seem to get any ticks or anything, so that was good. But anyhow, thanks for joining us, and we will see you later. Bye.